We all know we should be moving more throughout the day, right? Well, what's stopping you? For me, I often get stuck in a single task. I feel like I'm behind, or I just plain forget, and my body ends up paying for it later in the day. And this is why we need to have the least amount of barriers to give the body what it needs. So I want to share with you some of the things I keep around the office to keep my body feeling loose, and more importantly, how to use them. The first part of my body to start feeling stiff and achy during a workday are my shoulders, my neck, and my upper back. So I always keep these light loop bands around. You can also use these tubing bands with handles, but they're really great for opening up and activating muscles in the shoulders. The nice thing is these things are only about $12. Let me show you some of my favorite exercises and stretches using these bands. First thing you'll need to do is anchor your band, and doorknobs, legs of tables work great, but if you want to get really serious, you can actually put an anchor right into your wall. This first setup gives you an opportunity to stretch the whole front side of your body that ends up getting stiff from sitting or being hunched over something all day. So we take the band, we turn around, and now we have the opportunity to let that band pull you into a stretch. This would be for the chest, this overhead, more for your lats, and this straight behind, more for the front of the shoulder. But feel free to move around and just feel what's good. Some rotation might feel nice, some rotating of the shoulders. And I love this because you get to give your body exactly what it needs. And after you're done stretching, now you turn around and turn on all the muscles on the back side of the body, basically doing the inverse of the movements we were doing before. We can go overhead, we can go straight to the side, we can go down and back, we can do some rotation, right? So anything that gets the muscles on the back side of the body reactivated because they've been long and turned off for a long time. And lastly, my neck gets really tight. So I like to take the band, stand on it, and then when you stand up, feel how it pulls your shoulders down away from the ears. So you get to relax the shoulders, let them move down towards your butt, and then you can start stretching in any direction that feels good. The part of the body I don't feel getting tight until I go to stand up and I look like Donkey Kong's grandpa are the hip flexors. But there's a super simple fix. You just need to keep something around your desk to kneel on. These are called balance pads. They're about $25 and I like them because they're extremely soft. And you just put that under your desk right where you're sitting, you kneel down, and it's so simple because once you put one knee down, that whole hip flexor starts to open up and it feels great. All it takes is kneeling on each leg for a few minutes, and that could be enough to keep your hip flexors open throughout the day. And as an added bonus, you flip that around, you could sit on the ground for a bit, working on your chair, and you can just use it to sit on for stretching of any kind. But this brings up a funny mistake I see a lot of people make with their work attire. If your movement is restricted because your pants or your shirt are too tight, then you're definitely gonna feel stiff at the end of the day. So there's no excuse. There's all kinds of really good brands that make stretchy clothes that are work appropriate. So get yourself some. And the last piece of equipment that's a non-negotiable for me are these mini bands, or better known as booty bands. You can buy a whole set of the rubber ones for about $12, or you can get one of these for 20 bucks. And these are nice for a few different quick exercises. The most obvious ones are putting them around your knees and just doing some really simple movements with the legs to get your glutes fired up. You can do them sitting, or you can go ahead and stand up, and there's all kinds of different exercises where you're stepping in different directions and just getting those glutes to turn back on after you've been sitting on them all day. But for me personally, what I find more useful is actually using them in a slightly different way. What I do is use it for posture. So when you're sitting at your computer all day, you get in this hunched position where the head falls forward, the shoulders come up, and your shoulders internally rotate. So what you can do to negate all of those problems is put this band right around your forearms, place your elbows on your desk, push the shoulders down and forward, pull the neck nice and long, and then try to stretch that band out. And while you're doing this, you're gonna focus on breathing into your upper back. Inhale through the nose and inflate the ribs up between the shoulder blades. And then when you exhale through pursed lips, try and pull the front of the ribs down, and that will open up all that space that gets compressed from sitting all day. Trust me, this one's a game changer for posture. Now, these are all just things that I like to do. Regardless of what you choose to do, the most important thing is that you actually do them. Doing something is better than doing nothing. That's why choosing things that are simple, easily accessible, and enjoyable is important, because if there's too much resistance, if it's too hard, you're just not gonna do it, and that's okay. So at first, just focus on creating the habit, and then you can add complexity from there. If there's anything you would have added to this list, let us know in the comment section below. If you want to support us, just like the video, leave a comment, and if you're new here, subscribe to the channel. We'll see you in the next video.